Okay, let me show you what I've done. Hey, come on guys. The dogs are in there. Hey. Okay, so I've started wiring. I started with a nano. Hey, you filthy mutt. I created electrical diagrams, like wiring diagrams, because I have a electrical background versus electronics, and schematics are not exactly my thing. So I find wiring diagrams to be a little easier. So the way they work is I have page 0 is numbered with line numbers running down the side. When you go to page 2, the line numbers jump to the next set of numbers, which is up in the thousands. And then you jump to page, well, this is actually 2. Page 2 starts at 2000 and goes up. My page 0 starts at 100. So that's where I started. So I've got my wall power coming in. It's 120 volts AC, and it goes into a terminal which will be labeled 120. That's my hot from the wall. So one of these is going to be my hot. They're actually coming in here, so these are all actually 120. Actually ties in with 120 volt. Neutral will just be labeled neutral or with an N, and then ground is labeled with GND. So my wires will correspond to those labels, so that I can look at my wire. No matter what the color is, the label will give me an indication as well. Then I've got power going to, let's say, the power supplies. I've got my line power, which will also be 120 volt. And then I've got neutral going to it, and ground. That's for the 48 volt switching power supply. Out of that, I've got 48 volts going out, and then what I'm calling 0 volts, most people call ground. Hey! Hey! Shooting a video here. Okay. So, skipping ahead, what I've got going is I've got the nano wired up, which is on this page, and I have to do some markups as I go. But you see I've got 5 volt, 5 volt, 12 volt, ground, and they're labeled by connectors. Now you can see I've got a J7 here and a J7 here. It doesn't really matter as long as you can read it. These are pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this is actually pin 2 is a key, which I'll show you here. So now I've got my connector. I've got 12 volt, 12 volt, 5 volt, 5 volt, the key, oh no, I got the ground and then the key, and then I've got ground again, or 0 volts as I label it. And then off of my RGB channels for lighting, I've got, hey, what are you chewing on over there? You can see my RGB channels. I've got 1040, 1041, 1042, which corresponds to the line number. So that way I can always look at the wire number, and I can go to the page and the line number and find where it's supposed to be. So I've got all these labeled. These run around through here, and they go to the channel. So you got channel 1, 1040, 1041, 1042, channel 2, 3, and 4 are the same. And that's as far as I've gotten. I've had to stop tonight because the wife says so.